and welcome to the webinar, Discover the CRM that completes your Unleashed workflow. Let me just introduce myself. I'm Suraj, by the way. Nice to meet you, all of you. And today I will be running through both the presentation and the live demo of what are the possible features and functionality that aligns with Unleashed. And if you do end up starting to take a free trial, we will have the privilege to meet once again. And I have been with the company for more than 2 years now, and I do run through a lot of presentations with ongoing customers. And the topic of discussion: why is Unleashed the perfect match for Unleashed, and how is the CRM an add-on that becomes a natural extension of your workflow? That's going to be the main topic of discussion in today's session, and we're also going to show you how extensive the workflow is and how seamless the integration is as well. And the whole point of us catching up is also to give you some real actionable insights, some profitable growth with some real B2B sales growth as well, and how it would be available right from the get-go. Just to give you, some customer feedback before we get on to this particular review. Both Unleashed and the CRM, we have been integrated for about 7 years now, before both of us have been acquired by the Access Group. Now, so that we are acquired, we work a bit more closely, and it's a deep two-way integration that our developers have been working pretty up close. And on our website, we've got heaps of testimonials and reviews. This is just an example. As you can see, Helen from Pure Medic, as you can see on the quote, the day that I had a call with the CRM expert, it was amazing. I could see all my data immediately and thought this was life-changing. Of course, we're not guaranteeing it's going to be life-changing for all of you, but we can guarantee the kind of seamless integration and how you can use that data to get some real actionable insights on a day-to-day basis. Hopefully, we can show you some of that in today's webinar. And we're also going to go beyond the basics when we mentioned that it's just not a basic data entry system, this Unleashed CRM. It's a bit more than that you can expect because of the integration that we have. And let us give you a bit of an example on how do we stack up in the market. As you can see, our CRM is built for product businesses. Unleashed, by the very nature of it, all the users of Unleashed do sell physical products to B2B, be it wholesalers, distributors, or manufacturers. So that's the niche market that we actually work on. And these are the top providers that we've got in the market. Salesforce, Pipedrive, HubSpot. As you can see, at this day and age, everyone's got similar star rating and pricing. We are priced pretty competitively. And if you do look a bit closely, most of the reviewers by industry are service-led businesses, like computer software, IT, financial services, and so on. This is what we call a traditional CRM. It was ideally built for service-led businesses, where there is an elongated sales process, where each division is trying to log in their activity, right from sending the quote, all the communications captured, finally closing the pipeline. It's usually a high-ticket sales, and it's a long-drawn sales cycle, where it could take anywhere between 2, 3, or even 5 years to complete a deal, which is built for these service industries. Whereas if you look at Unleashed CRM, we cater to that niche market, companies that sell physical products to B2B, which are wholesalers, food and beverages, food production, and so on. And all the features and functionality that we have is to directly support and leverage your sales, whether it's going to be increasing your average order value or your order frequency, or most importantly, customer retention, which we will show you on the slides to go. And this is also a very unlike kind of an award to be won by a CRM, which you can see we have been voted as the #1 stock-aware CRM. This is, like as I did mention, it's a very different kind of an award for us to win this. And today's session is why we have been voted as the #1 stock-aware is something we will be highlighting. And apart from that, there are heaps of reviews of us as a product and a company on our website and on various platforms, like you can see Trustpilot, Zero, one of our partners, or in Google as well, T-Square. And you can see the various awards that we've won: the most implementable, highest user adoption, and easiest setup. That's something you're going to be see when you start a free trial, where it literally doesn't take much of an effort from your end on setting up the CRM. Of course, we do need some configuration and setup, but you want to um, customize certain templates or set up certain core templates according to your requirement. But having said that, it is absolutely intuitive and user friendly right from the get-go. And to support that, we have this growth formula and the growth model, which does look fairly simple, but for us to implement this, it does take quite an effort from your end and our end, with the whole idea of any CRM, like say the top providers like Salesforce, HubSpot, or Pipedrive. The whole idea is to bring in more customers. This could be done through your marketing campaigns or opportunity management. And we do have that functionality as well. But our main focus is driving or increasing that higher CLTV, which is customer lifetime value. So we really drill down on your existing customer base. So together, we can offer you this, we can promise you the sales growth that you're after. Um, and just to break this down for you and make it a bit more understanding, uh, we start off with the classic funnel of doing business. One of the most basic concepts of the CRM, as you can see, the CRM collects the leads that marketing generates. And this could be through the inquiry forms that you've got, or like any telemarketing efforts or marketing campaigns that you run. And we ensure you attract those leads and push them through. Once when you qualify them, you push them through a sales process, which could be that initial face-to-face meeting, or sending a quote, or even sending samples if that's part of your business process. Finally, you get the confirmation, you get the first order, and you close the deal. But as you know, in wholesale and distribution, if this first order is a bit tentative, this whole process can be a loss-making effort because, of course, you're paying your sales team and you're paying for some third-party marketing tools. If this order is tentative, this whole exercise could be leading to a loss. And unfortunately, most of the top CRMs out there, they only focus on filling in the funnel and ensure they get the first order, boom, that's where they're done. But as shown you in the previous slide, we go a step further in Unleashed CRM. We ensure we push your existing customer into this mechanism where the primary focus is to increase your order value, increase your order frequency, and most importantly, customer retention. So you don't have that leaky bucket effect where you're bringing in more customers and they're going through the other side of the funnel. So that's pretty much the key area of focus with Unleashed CRM, and which will also ensure we increase your profitable growth. And to support that again, if you do wish to decide to come on board, this is what we call a growth playbook. Of course, we're not going to be going through each of these tabs and explaining it in detail, so we can save ourselves the time. But if you do wish to decide to come on board, this is something our onboarding team will sit with you and focus on the areas that you want to really drive your growth. As you can see, it's a simple breakdown of the growth formula, which is more customers and higher customer lifetime value. In today's session, I'm going to be showing you those features which are deployed, which will give you that early return on investment. As we have mentioned to you, the whole idea of the CRM is to turn your business into a growth engine. So that's what our system is designed to do. Of course, there are some features and functionality that may require a bit more planning and configuration, which may yield you some higher returns, which could be automating your marketing campaigns or automating your quote order workflow. We will be able to provide some examples on that. But again, these are the main features, that some of the top features I'm going to be showing you straight away right now. And I'll also quickly touch upon this acronym called RFM, what that stands for, because it's a key reporting logic we've got in Unleashed CRM. RFM, it stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. So based on your sales history from Unleashed, we pretty much segment your customers into champion, loyal, at risk, and so on. Champions are pretty much the ones who have bought recently, buy often, or spend the most. Compared to an at-risk customer, they did spend big money at one point in time, but they've dropped in revenue due to various reasons. This could be again due to seasonality, change in buyer, change in pricing, whatever may be the reason. We indicate those customers to you. And finally, we've added another segment here, which is new customers. I'm not sure if you guys have read some articles about wholesale and distribution where research has proven that the fourth order is like the tipping point. That's where your customers potentially start considering you as a supplier. And so until they place the fourth order with you, they will remain in the segment. So which means it gives an opportunity for your sales team to work with them a bit more closely, build that relationship organically, and eventually make them your loyal or champion customers. So that's another key area that we're going to be focusing today. And before we jump onto the live action, this is the million-dollar question. How does the two-way sync work? And without any zero friction, that's something that we're going to be showing. There's going to be a lot of syncing of your data going backwards and forwards, and it will also save you a lot of time from double handling. So that's the power of the integration that we have with Unleashed CRM, and I'm going to show you how seamless it is today. Just a nice little graphic before we kick off the live demo. As you can see, it's a bit of a deep two-way sync, as we mentioned at the start of the session. So we're pulling through from your Unleashed warehouse management inventory system. We're pulling through all the currencies that you've got with your suppliers, customers. If you're dealing with multiple currencies, we pull through that information. And we do pull through the GST VAT and the multiple warehouse locations. Maybe you've got a couple in Australia and then in New Zealand or a couple of major cities. We do give you the distribution by warehouse and the breakdown, which we will show you soon. And of course, we pull through the list of all your customers and suppliers. And using that information, it could be as simple as right from if they're the main decision maker, the CEO, the sales team, the admin person, whatever contacts you've set up in Unleashed, we pull through all the data. And this is where we differentiate ourselves. We pull through your product pricing and inventory. Yes, pretty much your sales team can start working right from the CRM itself. They wouldn't need access to Unleashed. All the data will be pulled through the integration. And the best part that we do is we also pull through all the orders. The way I did mention the RFM, how we calculate that is using your sales history from Unleashed. So we pull through invoices and credits. If you've given us access to your accounting software, we pull through that data as well. So basically, what are we trying to achieve pulling through all this data? We pushed it through into the CRM, and you do have the ability to add new customers directly in the CRM. So you can have a list of prospects, and the moment they decide they want to go on board, you can add them as an ordering customer, and that data will flow back into Unleashed. And this could also be a bit of an edge case where companies that have like a wide list of catalogs, if you don't want to be saving all those products in Unleashed, just for quoting purposes, you can edit the description line and you can send quotes for new products. And once the order comes through, you can create that product in Unleashed as well. This could be quite useful in certain stages. And of course, the whole idea we've got here with the integration, you can process new orders. The moment you process a sales order in the CRM, that will get pushed into Unleashed as a draft order, draft sales order, and then your operations team can pick, ship, and invoice it. And finally, using all this data, we do a bunch of sales analysis on your products, on your customers, marketing, any functionality that you choose in the CRM. We do have reports built in. So hopefully that makes a bit of a sense on what to expect from today's session. Let me quickly move on. Let's take a look into it. And apologies for anyone who's joined in a bit later. This session is recorded, so please don't worry if you didn't miss out the first couple of minutes, sorry. And we will send you through that recording, as part of this, as saying thank you for joining today's session. And we also have a Q&A button at the right end top, if I'm not wrong. So if you do have any questions, kindly do pop it there. And then after the demo, after the webinar is completed, I will certainly address those questions. Let me quickly reshare my screen. Hope you can see my screen all right. That's pretty much how the UI looks for the Unleashed CRM. A lot of Unleashed account managers do jokingly say it's just a blue version of Unleashed, which I can't argue with them much, but I promise we do have a bit more reporting and sales analysis when it comes to your customers, where Unleashed is mostly focused on your products and inventory and your operation side, where the CRM heavily focuses only on your sales side. So I'll be quickly jumping onto each of these reports, but before I do so, this is what we call the account manager's dashboard. This pretty much reflects all the customers who have placed an order with you at least once. And as you can see, I've logged in as a support user, and this is a fictitious company called Coffee and Beans. They've got to do everything, anything and everything to do with coffees. They sell beans and some machines as well. And apologies in advance if there's any data missing, as you don't know, it is usually pretty right. We've got all the data, but yeah, just letting you know. And if you do have a wide range of team, like say if you've got a big team of about 5, 6 or more account managers, this this particular report can be set up accordingly. So once when he or she logs in, they'll only be able to view the accounts that they deal with and the kind of revenue they bring in. And as a sales manager, you'll have access to the entire operations as well. Now, just let's pick up from where we left in the presentation, the RFM analysis. As you can see, it stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. Based on the sales history from Unleashed, pretty much pull through all the data, segmented your customers into champion, loyal, at risk, and so on. If I quickly jump onto one of those segments over here, it's going to show you the list of, who are your top customers, who's the account manager, first order date, last order date, and the total order count since the time they've come on board as a customer. The beauty of the CRM is it just doesn't project the data to you, but with the three-dot menu, we have the ability to do some actionable insights where you can save all our reports to Excel. So if you do want to make this into a calling list and you want your sales team to be on top of your champion customers, you can certainly do so. And we also have the ability to integrate the third-party providers, which are, we have some certain marketing tool partners like MailChimp, Klaviyo, and Spotler. What that means is you can pretty much export the contact list, add your flyers in MailChimp or Klaviyo. Once when you send that through, any responses you get from that campaign will get saved under marketing under campaigns. Could be live clicks or any unsubscribe, all the data flows in. And finally, we also have this integration to Google Maps, which gives you the geographical presentation of all your customers. And you can see where exactly they're located. And it also does help your sales team to plan their on-site visits accordingly. And you can pull specific reports based on your postcode or territory and so on. That's a key little feature. Now let's quickly jump on to, what am I been rambling on about integration? What's the big deal about it? Let me show you the kind of data that we pull through. So with Bird Coffee, as you can see right there, they're a champion customer. And the performance in the last 365 days, they are growing, which is great. And this is a rolling period. So tomorrow it'll be last 365 days tomorrow with the previous 365 days as well. We've got the financial year to date, and you can see the Google Maps integration on where exactly they're located. And we also got this categorization section, which shows you the type, who's the account manager. And with all these fields over here, they're totally configurable. If you feel priority doesn't match this, you can certainly configure that. And similar to that, this entire screen is customizable. So if you feel it's a bit too overpopulated, you want to keep it as crisp as possible, you do have the ability to edit these settings accordingly. And if you've got a junior member joining or any other team member that you don't want them to have access to your landing price, cost price, or like any key profitability reports or margins, you can enable this restricted dictionary, and they will certainly not have access to that. Finally, as I did mention, it's a deep two-way sync. Any changes that you make to this company record will automatically flow back into Unleashed as well. And we've got a couple of tabs that I'm going to show you. We pull through delivery addresses from Unleashed. If you've got multiple delivery addresses, we will pull through that record. And we also have a nice little UI feature where you enter the postcode number. This will get populated as well. And with contacts here, we pull through all the contacts from Unleashed. As you can see, Toby is the general manager. And unlike other CRMs, we don't have any limitations with contacts. You can add as many as contacts as you please. And you can certainly add the roles and you can configure that to your business process. And once when you add a new contact, that will automatically flow back into Unleashed. All the CRM things I'll quickly come back to. Documents is a key area where any quotes that you send or project proposals, this is like the single source of truth, will all get saved under the document section. And that's the link to open this account in Unleashed. As you can see right here, right from the code, the name, the address, the payment terms, the tax, and then the price list. You can also see if there's any overdue invoices. Of course, for that, we do need access to your accounting software like Xero or QuickBooks. And you can also see the type. This is directly in sync. You can access Unleashed anytime from here. And this is what I meant. If you do give us access to your accounting software, we will give you the list of all the invoices which are both paid and outstanding. Nice little way for your sales team to be on top of any customer accounts as well. Finally, we've got the sales transaction tab. This is where we pull through all your sales history. So if you remember the graphic that I showed you, we pull through sales transactions. So as you can see, the line by line view of all the orders that have come through, if they've been ordered, delivered, and invoiced. And you can also see the base value that you're dealing with, the margin and the percentage, the sales order number, and the order date as well. And there's totally 679, transactions with this particular company. And for instance, if we just want to know the number of beans that they've got from us, we can just go have a look at that, and it'll pull you the list of all the beans that they've got, the Australian beans, the Papua New Guinea. Similar to that, if you're after a sales order number, you can enter that there as well. And again, you guys can ask me a question now. Like the whole idea is, what are we doing pulling through all this data? This is where, again, if you recollect in the graphic, we show you a bit more of a deep dive in. We give you sales analysis on the company itself. So we show you the top level segment, the spend, the order frequency, and the last order date. As you can see with this interactive graph right here, that's the invoice value per month, and that's the order value per month. At any given stage, if you only want to focus on 2025, you can zoom in, see how well they've been performing, and as simple as that, you can zoom out. And once when you open this report, it gives you the list of the breakdown of all the orders that have come through. March was a phenomenal month, and prior to that, there have been a few quiet months. And I'm sure before summer, maybe they might place another big order. Another thing that we do is we also show you the top products, both by value and by order frequency. As you can see right here, this particular SKU has sold almost 30.7, we've got almost 30.7% revenue, followed by another SKU, 25.3, and you do get the idea of the breakdown. Once when I open this report, we show you the total revenue generated by Buy and Pay Coffee, and they've got totally 13 SKUs from you so far. By far, the top, the most, this particular SKU right here has been the top consumer product with almost 20 units sold and the revenue being got from you so far. And if I click on one of these machines over here, this is where we get the tagline of the #1 stock awareness CRM. Everyone, as you can see with the integration, we just don't pull your customer data, we also pull through your entire product files as well. Right from the SKU code, the description, any pricing that you've got, selling price, cost price, stock available, when is the next shipment due, which category does it belong to, any images you've set up. And by all means, Unleashed will still remain your master data. So which means your sales team or any other team members using the CRM, they don't have the ability to make any changes to this particular record. If you do make any changes, you still have to do it in Unleashed, and through the overnight sync, it will flow back into the CRM. And we also pull through, as we did show you earlier, we pull through the stock levels. We've got multiple warehouse locations on, you can see where exactly the stock's located. And if you give us any suppliers information, we show you when is the next shipment due. Especially, it could be a good edge case when you're out of stock and your sales team wants to have a quick chat with the team, with your customers on when is the next shipment due and processing a back order and so on. On a product level, we pull through recent sales transactions as well. You can see Buy and Pay Coffee have pretty much been smashing the orders. Sales analysis, it's a bit more of a deep dive in where we show you the top buyers. We show you CB rosters are pretty good, followed by Buy and Pay Coffee, and then the other list of customers. This report can be quite crucial, which is the buying pattern. So as you can see right here, we show you the total stock move. March was one of the biggest months with 14 units sold. Prior to that, it's been fairly quiet, but you can certainly use this report and save it to Excel and use it as your stock forecasting report for your next financial year and ensure you hold the right amount of stock and save up on the crucial warehouse spacing as well. And moving forward, the CRM can be your single source of truth. Right now, maybe you're holding images and additional documents on like spreadsheets or Dropbox. This could be the main area where you can save all the key critical information. And with price tiers, we pull through all the price tiers you've set up in Unleashed, like VIP, Wholesale, or Rosanna. This could be quite crucial when you're quoting or processing a sales order. And the main other feature is the whole idea of the CRM is to increase your order value, average order value. So we do have the ability where we can link products to the main coffee, Breville coffee machine. Like say, if your sales team is having a chat with the customer, and if they feel like they make 400 coffees an hour, you might want to upgrade to a bigger machine. So we can link a bigger machine to this particular as an upgrade. Right now, we've got two products which are recommended, which are the brushed stainless steel and the knockbox. So I'm going to show you how this will come up when you're processing a sales order or a quote, which will indirectly increase your average order value. It's a nice little UI feature we've got. And finally, before I do some live actions, I'm going to show you the key reporting tool, which is the Magic Matrix. As you can see, it is a Harvard Business School idea. So the whole point here is we import your product categories. Which are the categories that this customer has bought? And what are the categories that are unaware of? How do you run a marketing campaign, make them aware of that, create an opportunity, have that sales pipeline opportunity, and eventually make them buy that category from you? Um, I am going to show you the global view on how this looks like, but it's a key reporting logic we've got. So that's pretty much with the integration side of aspect, guys, on what's the kind of reports and the in-depth information we pull through from Unleashed. There are a few more reports I'm going to touch upon before I do a quote for you. Missing out alert, as you do know, we have AI integrated in the CRM. That's like the BUS acronym. So what that does is it calculates the average order value for each of your customer. And what's the shortest time they've taken to place an order, and what's the longest time as well. If I quickly open that report, you can see they placed an order, they used to place an order every 1 day, and they've missed that previously, and it's been 80 days since they've placed an order. Right now, that's the average order value. That's the kind of revenue that can be collected straight away. And we would highly recommend you to take a free trial just so that you can get the maximum ROI from this particular report. And it also acts like an early churn risk indicator, like who's completely fallen off that average order bandwagon and who's lost or hibernating. So this is one key reporting logic that your sales team will love. And another particular report that gives you a bit of a trends within your existing customer base on who's growing, static, and declining based on the sales history is the trends report. Again, the whole idea is to give your sales team the key reporting information on where is the drop in revenue happening and how you can use this information to be on top of those customers. You can either save them to Excel, or you can run a targeted marketing campaign with some special discounts and ensure you get them back to that repeat order cycle. So these are the key reports that your sales team will be quite interested right from the get-go. And needs engagement again. This is pretty much based on when was the last time you accessed an account, sent an email, or made a call, or based on the activities you've logged, will pretty much reflect in this particular report. Since it's a demo account, it says it's been 3 months, a couple of years. But once when you start using the CRM, this will be fairly up and ready to go. And problems, we do have an after sales ticketing reporting tool, which will help you log any issues that you're dealing internally, which could be as simple as damaged goods on delivery or accessing any warranty and claims. There is a workflow involved, and this can certainly be configured to your requirement. Pending time, I'll quickly show you how you can manage that. And close trade is a sales pipeline reporting tool we've got based on any new opportunities that you're handling internally. It shows you, on which stages of the pipeline they're at. Based on if you won or lost an opportunity, it will reflect in this report as well. 12 months order, it's pretty simple. It gives you all the orders that have come through with a bit of a monthly breakdown. And this is what I mentioned. Any orders that you process in Unleashed will reflect in the CRM straight away. We give you a nice little comparison between this month versus last month. Once when you open the report, you can see right here, Beanbag, they placed an order an hour ago, hot drinks, that's the kind of revenue coming in. We give you some filtering options where you can jump between this month versus last month. By all means, when you do process a sales order in the CRM, that automatically gets pushed into Unleashed as well as a draft sales order. So that's how the integration looks like when it comes to the orders. Now, let's quickly show you what is also included in the integration. That's another question we get asked a lot. I will come back to the pricing and all that towards the end of the session. But with any pricing that you've got, this is included. Right now, we have access to your main account, which is Unleashed. That's your primary account. And we have access to these are the partners that we connect with when it comes to accounting software. Marketing, these are the three partners we work with. So you can hook up, connect to one of them, and then send in your targeted marketing campaigns. We've got integration to Stripe, as you do know, which is an online payment gateway, which does pretty much pull through any payments up front. And with emails, we connect with Gmail and Outlook, which does have an ability to track all your emails back into the CRM. Now, if I quickly go back to the main dashboard, let's probably do some live action since most of the Unleashed customers quoting could be something you're very interested in. So that's something we're going to quickly show you. And I'm just going to type in Michelle based on my previous searches, and it'll pull through all the records that we've got access to in the CRM. And Michelle Dury, she works for this company called Downs of Ipswich. Through the breadcrumb menu, you know where exactly she's located. And you can see here, they are a loyal customer. They've not, been performing too great. So maybe she's finally come to you and then she's said, she wants to get a quote sent out, so she can get confirmation from a manager and then get back to us. Before we send out a quote, I want to show you two main features, which is we do have the activity feed where any outcome of the meetings that you've got, it could be a general note, failed to contact customer meetings. So you can capture all that information right here. And then you can set a follow-up task for yourself. And that could be, follow up with Michelle, and you can set the due date for whichever due date that she's asked for, maybe next week or maybe in the next quarter, the moment you hit that. And you also have the ability to mark this priority as high. It's fairly important. Uh, and then you can assign this to yourself or any specific user that you want them to follow up. But just for this, I'm going to assign this to myself. And the moment I create, what happens is you get a dual notification, one on your email inbox saying that there's a task that needs to be actioned, and the other one is it'll reflect on the activity feed. Once when he or she logs in, if they go in, as you can see right here, the main thing, priority high, we've got to action that, and you can also see the list of all the overdue tasks as well. So unless and until your team has not gotten in physically and then hit mark as complete, it will still keep reflecting in the CRM like these overdue orders, which could be a bit annoying. So we highly recommend your team actions those tasks. And as a sales manager or a management team, you have you have the visibility to see if everything is up to date and if they've actioned it in a timely manner. That's a key little reporting, a functionality we have, the task manager capability. And from here, you can we have with the action button, by all means, if you know what Michelle is going to place an order with you, you can process a sales order, no issues whatsoever. You can just key in the order. Once when you confirm, it goes into Unleashed. But just for this webinar, we're going to do a quote, and let's say it is a top-up order. All this data is pre-populated from Unleashed. But if you do know customers have like they order based on certain specific templates, you can edit those templates and save it here, which saves a lot of your time. And you can mark it as like say gold, silver, or bronze, just so you save time keying in those orders. Once when you hit create, what happens is it goes onto the landing page of the quote. And if Michelle gives you any reference number, you can enter that right here. Sorry about that. You can enter that right there. Or when you do come down and hit the drop down section, you can see right here, the CRM is pretty smart. It only shows the most frequently ordered items by Michelle. Okay, let me go in and add Australian beans. And maybe I'm in the unit. She wants like maybe 20 units of that. Then let me go in and then show you another particular product, which is the Breville coffee machine. I want to show you this example. This is exactly what we meant when you upsell, when you tag products, it will come up as a prompt. So if you're on the phone, you can certainly have that conversation and ask, would you like to add these two products? If she says yes, and then happy days, hit continue, that is going to get populated. And then maybe this is not quite easy for the viewing purpose. We want a bit more of a bigger view. If we go to the search section, this is what we call the multi-line quoting system. So if we pull through all the product categories with any images that I've set up, you can see they're totally 84 SKUs, right from the price, cost price, and the total stock available. And you can, if you're on rep mode, you can walk in with the customer and do an order on your tab. The the CRM is totally responsive, and there's a new mobile app being built as well. But before that, you can access the CRM in any device as long as you've got internet. You can go in and filter those orders, or if she's asking you what are the products have I purchased, you can go into recently purchased and see the other products that she's recommended. Okay, she's got the Colombian beans, you can add 10 units of that. The Ethiopian, and also the Mexican beans as well. Once when you hit add, that'll get populated in that particular report. And if she's asking for any recommendations, you can go into popular and it'll pull through all the top 30 SKUs that have done exceptionally well with your other providers as well. So that's a nice little way to capture that information. Once when you hit add and close, you can see right here, all this data gets populated. And we give you at most flexibility with quoting compared to Unleashed, where you can go edit any description, pricing, and discount. And as I did mention, if you've got a wide range of catalog, we have the ability to add new products just for quoting purposes. And there are a few more things that you can do on a quote where we have the ability to do a grouping and we can use the beads. Obviously, we can just mark them the title beads. And for the other category, how we can categorize them is we can probably have it as machine. The whole idea, this could be quite crucial when you're selling a big machine and you have certain components that needs to be added that can be marked in here, and we can ensure we take out the subtotal and just give you the grand total, especially if you want to sell that as a unit to a customer. And if they can access that with another supplier, you can give them a 1 grand total and ensure that you get that information sorted as well. And from here, you can either send this as an document that you have. We can replicate your Unleashed quote template in onboarding, or you can use some specific templates which are readily available for you with some, proposal quote document. And it's a standard Word document again, and these can be configured to your needs. Uh, or the most important things, we highly recommend you to send an email. So as you can see, one of the main reasons being we've got some set templates where you can choose basic email quote. It'll look like that, or you can choose a simple cover PDF. So this is actually pretty cool where it puts the onus on the customer and it gives the ability for a customer to either approve or decline this quote. So let me show you how this looks like on the customer's end and how you can automate and complete that workflow. Please bear with me for a few seconds. So that's exactly how it looks on the customer's end. And if Michelle, if she goes into this and if she's like, you know what, I'm happy with the pricing. You can see the beans, the different categories we set up and the machine. You know what, I'm happy with this. I would like to go ahead. Once she hits approve, it goes on to the payment link. She can enter the reference number, hit approve. If she's part of the 30-day payment terms, this will come into the CRM and then gets pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order. And then your operations team picks, ships, and invoices it. So that's how we give you the ability for a customer to do a self-checkout when you send them a quote. If I go back to the CRM, you're not going to bother sending this email. And if I just quickly refresh that, as you can see, there's a confirmed order taken. And since we capture the IP address and the reference number, we know who exactly placed an order with you. By all means, you can confirm that order in the CRM itself if a salesperson can do it, just showing you how the other way you can capture that information. There are a few more things you can do in a quote. You can get upfront payments with Stripe, similar to that, rather than having the 30-day payment terms. They will have a card small window that comes up where they can enter the card details. And with the deliveries, we honor any delivery methods you've set up in Unleashed. And if you are shipping it to regional Australia, New Zealand, any other part of the world, you do have the ability to configure delivery charges as well. And finally, that's pretty much how you service an existing customer. Hope that was nice and easy on processing a quote in the CRM and then pushing it to Unleashed. Now, what I'm going to show you is how do you capture new opportunities in the CRM. That could be another key little information for certain customers is to capture that communication that's coming through. So you can create inquiry forms and host it on your website, and you can create multiple inquiry forms. It could be a contact us form, a complaints, or like marketing queries. The moment you create and host it, any inquiries from your uh, website through the integration will get saved under marketing and inquiries. And your sales team or your admin team can then qualify them and see if it's worthwhile their time to pursue it and then create an opportunity, track that opportunity, and eventually close that. But based on the user settings, we can make them instantly available for you, those notifications. So if you go to my settings and then see notifications right now, you can see any inquiries that are assigned. It's pretty much instant. It will reflect on the task things over here, and you get an email notification. So the order that we took, if the customer is doing a checkout, we can make that instant as well. You'll get an email notification saying that an order has come through. And you can also, there's multiple things that you can set up to making your notification instant or daily or weekly. So that's how you get notifications on any new tickets or, like problem tickets or any inquiries that have come through. And from here, as I did mention, we don't have any limitations when it's coming to contacts. So you can save as many as contacts on the go. Um, and you can also track opportunities. We have an opportunity pipeline. You could choose new customers or account ongoing business and new customers. These are the set standard status we have. But again, this can be configured to your business process and to make it nice and simplified. And the moment you create an opportunity, it will reflect on the close rates to track all that information. Let's show you how we can track the problem and resolve it in a timely manner. So with a couple of beanbags that we sent Michelle, let's go back to Michelle. Some of the bags have been damaged. So how do we log an opportunity and resolve a problem and resolve it? So under Michelle, we go into that and then create a problem. We can say damaged goods. Sorry if I can spell. And with the source, let's say it's come through from an email. With the type, you can, as I mentioned, you can have multiple uh, problem tickets. It could be on a product issue. If you're servicing a big product, we have a pipeline here. You can have status log, RMA number, and if it was accepted or credit, you can have that workflow configured. But just for this purpose, I'm going to show a delivery issue, and it's a new issue. And once when you hit create, we're going to go to the landing page of the problem. As you can see, you have to create a follow-up task just to make sure we assign it to the right team and get a photo, assign it to the right team, and each issue is a result in a timely manner. Let's mark it at high, and you can assign it to a specific user who's responsible for any problem ticketing. And the moment you hit create, he or she gets a notification, and it also reflects on the activity feed, as we saw earlier. And say, as an example, if your sales member happens to be in that store, rather than waiting for an image, you can go into the document section, click an image, and then you can add that photo right here in the CRM to upload that photo directly. And once when you feel like, yes, there's been, a transition, the damaged goods have been, the goods have been damaged, it's up to your team members or the sales manager to either working on it or close successfully and process a credit to the customer accordingly. So that's how you can, have that activity, all that activity and any images you've set up will get saved under the activity feed and resolve all the issues that you're dealing in a more timely manner. Now, just a few things I want to show you before we go into the Q&A session. There are heaps of reports as we showed you on the two-way sync slide where we've got customers who've got like the Australian beans X, but not like the Mexican beans, where you can pull specific reports. You can see decreasing revenue and run targeted marketing campaigns. You can see leaderboards on how your sales team have been performing. And finally, the new opportunities is quite handy, where we can show you, in due course of time, your team might be working in heaps of opportunities. and we can add some filters. We can see, by status and by salesperson. The moment you add that, maybe you would like to see only the ones which are in quoting stage or pushing to close, and which salesperson is dealing with what. You can pull through that data, and this is just a set standard table of form. We also have a Kanban view, which is being, a recent release that we did, could be quite useful for your sales forecast meetings. You can see which is in awaiting PO or ordered. You can similarly get that sorted. Or we also have the monthly view as well. Again, just gives you for the forecasting purposes, which are going to be landing in this month or the next month and moving forward. That's a nice little preview we've got. And again, we do have the ability to build your own reports in the CRM. So if you do come on board, there is a report training session extensively done by our onboarding team who will assist you in creating those reports. Finally, I just want to touch upon this acronym called the Magic Matrix Dashboard. Sales Manager's Dashboard is another dashboard which gives you the 360-degree view of the entire operations of your business, which is a bit more of a holistic approach, which gives you the year-on-year comparison, the total customers, net change you're growing, all the closed deals, pipelines, problems, lost opportunity. It's like a single stop, like for the sales manager, getting the snapshot of your operations in a nutshell. So it could be a key little dashboard that you can use. And we also done a new little release, which is a personal dashboard, where all the dashboard reports that we have in various dashboards, you can compile them and then add them as your personal dashboard based on which team. Maybe you're working in the sales team, you're a manager, or you're an admin contact. You can make your nice little personalized dashboard that could be quite handy as well. And finally, we've got the Magic Matrix dashboard. As you can see right here, we do pull through your product categories. And red obviously meaning they've never got that category. Blue means there's an opportunity. Amber means they're aware. Green means they're obviously they've bought that. And we've had fair bit of luck, except the sugar sticks. Unfortunately, none of them have bought that. But if you look at home coffee equipment and ingredients, we've got like good level of integration there. And if I just open this for you, we put the customers on the x-axis and the product on the y-axis. It's a Harvard Business School idea again to analyze cross-selling opportunities. And we can run targeted campaigns for your account managers or for certain segments in the CRM. We can choose who do we want to run the campaign with the type, maybe just the bulk buy. You can choose all that information. As seen right here, the sugar sticks is the main thing that no one's bought. And there's already been a campaign, but we can certainly no harm in doing another campaign just to get that word out there that you do source that product as well. And you've done this, you've chosen the segments, and then once when you hit next, you only want to run it to the ones who are unaware of, and you've got that information. But what happens here, once when you create an activate campaign, this contact list gets pushed into MailChimp or Klaviyo. And then you have the ability to formulate that email, add your flyers, and send that campaign through. The moment you've done that, what happens to this report? As you can see, all the red dots, these new customers, they turn into amber, which means they're aware. And hopefully they do respond to that campaign, beautiful campaign done by a marketing team. And if they say they're interested, we would like to know more, then we can create an opportunity and that will turn into blue. In that opportunity, we have sales pipeline where you can have configure that to your business process and ensure you follow up in a timely manner and you close the deal. And eventually, when you close the deal and it turns into green. So the whole idea is to analyze as many as cross-selling tool and ensure this report is as green as possible, which will, try to indirectly or directly increase your average order value and improve your sales. So that's pretty much the whole idea of the CRM. And this was a key reporting logic that we have, apart from the RFM, the missing order alert, and the customer trends. And I sincerely hope it wasn't a waste of your time on joining today's session. We wanted to cover as much as the key information of the CRM. Of course, if you're going through each of those components, we would be sitting till tomorrow evening. But we've managed to cover the key areas and hope this was a fruitful session for your team members. And let me show you what are the next steps. And if there's any Q&A, we can have that shortly. As a thank you for joining today's session, I'm just going to show you what are the next steps. How do you get this free analysis for 14 days? You can start a free trial. So under Unleashed, on your Unleashed portal, there's a CRM tab. Once when you go that, You can try the CRM for free. The moment you hit that, your data import starts. It takes about 24 to 48 hours for it to get completed. Once it's done, myself or one of the sales team members will reach out to you and we'll give you your personalized demo on your existing data. And as a thank you for joining today's session, we will give you the first 3 months half price if you do start the trial and subscribe before the end of November. It's a nice little deal that we're doing. Hopefully, you can make the most out of it. We're keen to get that sorted. And again, thank you so much for taking your time and joining today's session. This is a nice opportunity to ask any questions that if you have at your end. As I did mention, there is a nice little uh, chat tab that you have where you can drop your questions and I can answer it on the go. Thank you so much. Yes, we've got an important question. Let me quickly cover this for you. What is the pricing? Which is actually a key component in the decision-making process over there. So we do So the professionals, there are a few versions we've got here today. What we saw is the professional version, which is 631 AUD per month. And I believe it's 691 New Zealand dollars per month. It does include up to 4 users. And if you do choose this, there's one other plan that you might want to choose, which is the CSM plan. You know, Essential plan is absolutely free, but if you do choose the standard plan, that's 15% of your subscription cost, which is $95 per month. It includes annual check-ins, a dedicated CSM team member, telephone callback, and the response times fairly quick for ongoing support. Either ways, whichever plan that you choose, the first 3 months is 50% discount. It will be $362.50 for the first 3 months, and it will stick to the full price. And it is a yearly contract paid on a monthly basis as well. So that's how the pricing structure is being set up. If you do want to scale up the number of users, each time you add a user, that's an additional $115 per month per user. So that's pretty much the pricing structure. Hope that clarified that question. Thank you. Let's move on to if there's any other next questions, we're keen to address that. We have a couple more minutes before we sign off. I believe there's no more questions. Again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank each one of you for taking your valuable time to join today's session. And that's 5 minutes back on your time today. I hope you sincerely take a free trial and we have the opportunity